Hello, it's your boy Sam Mr. Payne here. Today I'm back with a massive tutorial, right? You know me for doing hip hop vocals, right? Right, today I'm back. No, I'm not back. I'm here with Amapiano vocals, right? So I want to show you how to sound like these. Pay attention, right? Shout out to Konix and then King Booza for these massive my dog.
Mudiwa wangu daire, 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 daire. 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 Mudiwa wangu daire, oh, daire.
So I'm gonna fast forward this thing here. I don't wanna waste the time, so I'm gonna take it to the verse. And then to the verse, it sounded like this, man. Just, like Booza gave me something else, man. Like, yo. So like, yeah, I don't know which part to highlight, but then I feel like I'm supposed to highlight this first one. So we're gonna pull up here and highlight here, and then switch off these ad libs. I mean layering vocals, the automation clip, and then just play this.
Daire, daire, daire. Mudiwa wangu daire, 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 daire. Mudiwa wangu daire, oh, daire.
Okay, without these effects,
Daire, daire, daire.
I'm gonna switch off the beat now. It's time to laugh at his vocals, right? So he's sounding like this without effects.
Daire, daire, daire. Mudiwa wangu daire, 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 daire. Mudiwa wangu daire, oh, daire.
Okay, with these effects on, he's sounding like
Daire, daire, daire. Mudiwa wangu daire, 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 daire. Mudiwa wangu daire, oh, daire.
I am very tough, yes. And I will never give up. If I wanted to do something, I will never change my mind.
you can tell a lot of hairspray in the end. So I'm gonna switch off these plugins here that I used. So I'm gonna start with the parametric EQ. Like,
Daire, daire, daire. Mudiwa wangu.
so what I did here, this Amapiano, so it's a different approach when I'm mixing these vocals, right? So I boost about 0.9 dB on the 10K, and then boost about 1 dB on 3K, and then just like slight little beat on 600, just not too much, and then on the 250 to 300, in between there I just dip about 2 dB, and then I lock out about 100, not too crazy, and then load in my favorite compressor of all the time. if you just call me from sleeping and then ask me, bro, which is the best compressor you've ever come across, I'm gonna shout CLA to a mono or stereo. Like, dog. So like what I did here, my gain is like on 38, peak reduction on 45, my high frequency on 100. And then so far, with only these two plugins, right, I'm sounding like
Daire, 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 mudiwa wangu
Without-
daire, 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 daire,
With-
mudiwa wangu daire.
so like yeah, man. And then they also invented us this motherfucking auto-tune. So like yeah, dog.
Daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire.
And then after that, the reverb. So on this reverb here, we just wanna give you that kind of emotional feel, right? So my wetness level is like on 45, early on 50, decay on 1.5, and then pre-delay on 20, high cut on 4, and then low cut about 75, my room size on 50, and then it's like
Daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, oh, daire.
damn, so smooth, bruh. This meta flanger, I end up not choosing E, so I'm gonna take it out. And then the fresh air, just, you know, if you don't have fresh air, you gotta get yourself some fresh air. That's a bar, boy. That's a bar, boy. That's a bar. So I'm gonna switch on the beat so that you can hear what's happening. So with the fresh air,
Daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, oh, daire.
okay, so I'm gonna switch off the fresh air here so you can hear the difference.
Daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, oh.
You see, without the fresh air, there's no fresh air. You can't breathe. So the purpose of adding the fresh air is more like adding some legal beats on the meat, legal beat on the meat, and then too much, but then not too much.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
On some highs, and then the sun gudaiza. I told you, I prefer type B, mode B. That's the best mode for me, and then not too much amount. And then this I'm sounding so far.
Daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, oh, daire.
You see, like my main vocal preset chain, or like yes, it's not too crazy though. Only these plugins, and then I'm sounding so smooth like these, and then the delay.
Daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, oh, daire.
Oh fuck, man. I'm vibing this shit here. So we're gonna go to the sends. On the sends here, I have my FX. On my FX here, I have IDX Intelligent, vocal to front presets, and then siblings. Not too much, like threshold 30, detection on 70, mode split wide. I put it like on 60% split, range 20, and then threshold here is like negative 7.6. That's all I did. And then the NLS1 Nivo, I told you about it. Here on the VSA group, like group 1, and then drive on 6. Also the fruity flanger, just to give you some wetness. And then I'm sounding like this.
Daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, 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 mudiwa wangu daire, oh, daire.
See, now now with this group is sounding, I mean with this FX, my vocals are wet now. And then lastly to this chain is the vocal bass. On this vocal bass I'm using Fruity Flanger, D4 preset, Fruity chorus, D4 preset, Vintage chorus, D4 preset, and then the Fruity reverb about like 32% of like, yeah, you feel me. And then how you play with the amount of this bass in here, you play with this thing down here. This is where you control or manipulate how much you want from the bass. And then with something like this, I also did the automation clips, so it's like so smooth. So like we're gonna move on to the verse. So on this verse here, it's only one lead, but then what we did here can give you some headache, my brody. So I'm gonna play with the effects on, and then I'm gonna play without the effects, and then I'll show you how I did it. I mean, you need to get these guys some Kelvin Momo shit, boy. Send these guys. I don't know how to get hold of him, but then if I knew, I was gonna send these dudes to him, because like, bro, they give me that type of shit. Like, what you mean? What you mean? What you mean? So I'm gonna play how they sound. I mean, how he's sounding without these effects, and then I'm gonna quickly show you how I balance these vocals with only 2, 4, 6 plugins, right? So let's go. So I'm gonna switch on these main, and then first plugin here, it's like the EQ, same preset as the first one, and then reverb, same preset as the first one, and then CLA, same preset as the first one, and then Sound Goodizer, same preset as the same one. And then Fresh Air, different preset as the same one. So this time,
hey, get the fuck out of here.
Around, I boost my mids about 6, and then my highs about 9, lower than the first one. And then lastly, the delay, same preset as the first one, and then it's something like this. So now let's focus on the send. I told you about the send, so I'm just gonna switch them on, because like we talked about it, except for this one, which is like on this one we're carrying the GW voice symmetric. So on this one here, what I did is like I add about 50% intensity, and then switch on the doubler, the reverb, but then leave the delay, since we already have the delay, right? And then he's sounding like this. Yo, could this be the song of the year though? You know, I'm actually dancing, guys. And I'm gonna leave the preset on the description down below. You can download these things, guys. Let me know what to do next. So I'm leaving you here. Welcome to my world, guys. See ya when you see me.